1, 2 testing. 1, 2. 1, 2 testing. 1, 2. All right, how's everybody doing? Welcome to today's show. I'm gonna give everybody a minute or so to join the show, and then we'll start. Hello, Leslie, Tanya, how are you? Leslie, do you want me to analyze silver? All right, Fulcum, how are you? Assalamu alaikum, Musfekul. James wants an opinion on gold, where we are going to look at gold, of course. Hi, Neil. Good morning, J. Rod. How are you, Vaituaras? I am glad to see you here on the show. Hola, Karim. ¿Vos hablas español? Don't worry about the caps, mate. I do that all the time. Good evening, Tim. Yeah, Tim is from Australia. He's in the house. Well, Mr. Face, I do not give personal information here on my show. UK is in the house. How are you, Aliza? Buy order for gold? I don't know. Let's have a look. Rome in the house. Edgar, how are you? Malaysia in the house. How are you, Credit? Good evening to you too. And Cameroon is in the house. Kuala Lumpur and Bangladesh in the house. Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. Nigeria and Ireland are in the house. All right, how's everybody doing? I hope everybody is doing great. How are you, Darius? So I hope everybody's doing great. Oi, 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 that's awesome. India in the house. So, we started the week very strong, actually, with a great couple of trades, and Germany is in the house. With a great couple of trades on the VAP. Well, my trades that I sent on the VAP group. They rocked it this week. Tanzania in the house. How's Tazi, huh? How's Tazi? I have a friend that lives there. A couple of friends, actually. South Africa in the house, and Netherlands in the house. You know, the only time that I visited Amsterdam was, like 15 years ago. I was still in university, and I really, really, really enjoyed my time in Amsterdam. I met a lot of people. Francis in the house. Tu sais que ce stream, si on parle en français, mec, alors tu peux poser des questions en français, mais je vais répondre en anglais. Uh, we speak 3 languages here. Mumbai is in the house. Yeah, so if you don't speak, uh, if you speak French or Spanish, you can ask questions in those languages. I do speak those languages. Cleveland, Ohio, in the house. So how do you feel when LeBron James left for Mozambique in the house? Ouais, bien joué. T'habites où en France? Indiana in the house. What was the name of this? I'm talking about NBA, right? What was the name of this player from the Pacers? But this was during Michael Jordan's era. But he was awesome, and he was very, very small. I don't remember his name. Well, it doesn't matter. Can you recommend a lot size for a 10K account? Well, listen. T'habites à Cannes, sur la Côte d'Azur. Ouais, moi je connais bien Cannes. Je connais bien le Sud, actually. Je connais bien le Sud. Je connais bien le Sud, mec. I can't recommend, I cannot recommend a lot size for a 10K account because, listen, it really, really, really depends on the setup that you are trading, right? Reggie Miller, that's right. That's the name of that basketball player, Reggie fucking Miller. Morocco in the house. So let's go back to the position size question that you had, right, Aslam? I am against using the same position size every single trade, right? Why? Because you should focus on a percentage of risk for your account. And let's say that, all right, let's imagine, right? Let's grab this gold chart. And let's say that you want to short gold, right? And you have a 10K account, right? So what you want to do is just, first plan the trade, right? And let's imagine that you're going to enter short at, this is by no means a trade that I'm going to be taking, right? This is just an example. Let's say that you're going to enter short at 1790 with stop losses above today's highs, etc., right? So in order to calculate your risk or the size of your trade, first of all, you have to decide how much percentage of those 10K you are going to be risking. Let's say that you're going to risk 1%, right? So if you're going to risk 1%, you need a position size calculator, right? Just Google position size calculator, and you're going to get tons for MT4. And then, this setup, right, which is not a setup for me, just an example, it's 68 pips, right? The risk is 68 pips. So the position size with a 1% risk is going to be calculated for that setup alone. Now, let's imagine that you are a longer term trader and you want to enter here. So Now the risk is about 128 pips. So the position size for a 1% risk is going to be lower, right? So it depends on what the market. It depends on what the market allows you to not allows you, right? But let's say establishes as a maximum loss in pips for your trade. But it's really a pain in the ass to do that manually, right? You can actually do it with an Excel sheet, but I do recommend that you download a position size calculator, and if not, what I use this. I'm gonna show you. Oof, 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 oof. Let me just grab a clean chart. All right, so what? Cool beans. Well, wow, whatever. So what I use is this. Right? This is it's called risk calculator, and just go to riskcalculator.app and buy it. It's $5 a month, and you just click here, and it calculates your position size for you on a 1% risk, etc. With you just move this around, etc. It's pretty cool. India in the house. All right, so let's start this show. And everybody wants. Leslie wants me to look at silver, and then James wants me to look at gold. We are going to do that. Before we go any further, right? If you're not subscribed to this YouTube channel, why don't you go ahead and do so? Subscribe. We do upload a ton of stuff every single day. And if you like the show, give me a like in YouTube. That helps us a lot with the YouTube algorithm. And the reason that I ask you this, is because we do want to get this free information to as many traders as we can, right? So let's start by looking at the DXY, the US dollar. Oh boy. So I'm not even going to look at the daily. I'm going to start looking at the 4-hour chart, right? Yesterday on my daily watch list, I was looking at this pullback move, right? Yesterday I think that yesterday it closed a little bit bullish. The DXY closed a little bit bullish. But if you look at the 4-hour chart, right? I'm not gonna zoom in. Yeah, let's zoom in a lot. So this level is a massive, massive historic level, right? We haven't quite gotten there yet, but if you look at these highs, this is exactly the same highs where sellers jump in, right? Where the market sold off. And we're talking about 0.8% sell-off on the DXY, which is not something to hold on. I'm just looking at my other screen. So this sell-off on DXY is something that you should be paying attention to, more so because this is the rejection of the 93.20 level again. Now let's zoom in and let's look at levels, right? And what the DXY is actually doing at the moment. Remember that today we do have core retail sales, and the expectations are really, 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 really bad, right? For U.S. retail sales. So this is, if data comes out as expected, which is which is a bad forecast, the DXY or the US dollar is going to have a bearish momentum, right? But we really don't know that, right? One piece of advice that I can give you is that to never front run high impact events based on the forecast, because no one knows no one knows if the analysts' forecasts are going to play out. Oh, Linda, you remember the time I told you to look at your cat when it was, well, congratulations. Yesterday we took a Euro cat actually, uh, I'm sorry, yesterday I took a Euro cat long on the breakout. I'll show you the actual setup. So never front run, high impact events, because we really don't know how the data is going. How the data is going to show. So, but what we can do is just analyze and prepare for the possible scenarios, right? Now, after that sell-off from the highs, awesomely, did you start the FTMO challenge? So after the sell-off, on the short term, we're looking at bearish impulses, and this week from Sunday's open, this to me is pretty choppy. So it looks like a pullback, even though this 4-hour candle, this white 4-hour candle, closed extremely bullish. But we have this level right here, the 92.77, right, where price is being capped to the upside. So what are we going to do? We are going to be planning possible scenarios, right? And because we have those retail sales. Because we have those retail sales in less than an hour, I'm not going to be taking any trades at the moment, right? Because this data is going to move the market. So, but I'm going to prepare for the possible scenarios. First scenario, right? The one that I'm really looking for is a bearish continuation on the US dollar, right? Technically speaking, and just technically speaking, the downside looks like the highest probability trade on the US dollar for today, right? But having said that, if retail sales beat expectations and beat previous numbers, right, the US dollar is going to rally and this level is going to be broken with. So that's number one, the reason that you never front run high impact events, and that's the reason that I am not taking a position on the US dollar just yet, right? I think that we are going to be live for the retail sales data dump, so do not turn off your TV. So the first scenario, right, is it's the bearish scenario, the one that I'm looking for, and the one that I'm preparing for. Now, if retail sales beat expectations, the US dollar is going to rally, and I do not have any bullish scenario or any bullish setups in my watch list. You are welcome, Jasrael. Thoughts on the pound yen? Well, I'm still short on the pound yen from the 153s made. There's, there's nothing to do here. But just hold shorts if you're already short. We haven't had any big deep pullbacks on the pound yen. That's why let's have a look at the pound yen. This market is awesome when it trends, but it can be very difficult to trade when it's not. Right. So if you, I'm getting some errors from YouTube. So if you can't hear me, or if the image on your screen freezes, just please type it on the chat, right? So the pound yen is pretty bearish, right? Because of this, I mean, every yen pair is really deep in Y, and we have been looking at this scenario, and this is the reason that I took those shorts at the 153s, right? And if you come to the show every time that I'm live, and if you follow my thought process, right, and if you follow my thought process, right, and I mean, if you were on my past 2, 3, 4 shows, right, I mean, you have to remember that I was talking about this massive level on FXCM GP Japanese yen basket, which is basically the same thing as a DXY. I mean, this chart gives me an idea of how the yen is trading, right? And if you remember, I was looking for shorts at the break of these lows, but after this fake out and after this 4-hour candle, I decided against it. So I started looking for longs on the yen, right? And the best scenario was this, this short at the 153s on the pound yen. Remember, I mean, if you don't know, if you short the pound yen, if you short the US dollar, Japanese yen, the euro yen, the CAD yen, etc., basically you're taking a long on the Japanese yen. And the other reason that I chose the pound yen is because the pound was trading very sideways, right? So that market was not going to conflict with my long idea on the Japanese yen. And that trade really worked out. And now there's really no trade on the Japanese yen, right? We are retesting those highs. Not quite there, but if we get a pullback to August 3rd highs on the Japanese yen. So if we get a pullback here, right, and if price holds, then the highest probability trade for a yen trade is going to be to the upside. And if that happens, we are going to get pullbacks on the pound yen. We're going to get pullbacks on the euro yen. We are going to get pullbacks on the CAD yen, right? So the CAD yen is a little bit different, but if you look at the pound yen on the hourly, right? If you look at the pound yen on the hourly, this move is super extremely bearish. The level that I would be looking for pullbacks around the 151.20 to 151.40, or this entire area here. So if price, pullbacks, right? So, but understand this, right? If price on the pound yen pullbacks to the 151.30, right? I'm going to go ahead and look at how the Japanese yen is trading, and if the Japanese yen is not pulling back, that means that pullback is driven by the pound strength. So if that pullback is driven by the pound strength, I'm not going to short it. Why? Because the idea here, the idea on a possible pound, what I'm looking at the 50-minute chart, the idea on a possible pound yen short is a long on the Japanese yen, right? Not a short on the pound. So if price pulls back to this level right here, if price pulls back to this level right here, and the Japanese yen is not pulling back, that means that pullback is driven by pound strength, right? So the probability of a sell here on a rally is going to be much lower because it is a pound yen, a pound driven trade. I don't know if I make myself clear on that. I hope I do. No, Linda, I do not forget you. Actually, yeah. No, I do not forget you. I mean, the thing about the swing trading group is that we're not going to we're not going to get swing trades every single day, right? We're still on that Ethereum. You're more than welcome, Lee. So yeah, I mean that's the idea, right? And that's why I always tell you that before looking for setups on the pound yen, on on the euro US dollar, on the pound US dollar, etc., on whatever market that you trade, just ask yourselves what currency I am trading, right? That's why the first thing that I do is that I look at DXY, yen futures, or in this case, FXEM, Japanese yen basket, and some other um, futures, currency futures market, because first of all, you have to decide what currency you're going to trade, and then look for a setup or the best setup in any given market, right? Right now, this pullback is going to be a Japanese yen driven trade if that scenario plays out, right? I think I made myself clear, right? And actually, Linda, today we are going to be trading that. Uh, I'm going to put on a swing trade or a long-term order uh, on a market. I'm not even going to tell you here which market I am going to be trading. That is only for my swing trading VIPs. And if you want to get in on that, there's always a link below the video. And if you use the code Orlando50, you get 50% off on your first month, right? But that is completely and utterly up to you. So let's have a look at what's going on here. All right, so the pound is it's a little bit sketchy. Yesterday's trade, or my trade, not it wasn't even a trade because it didn't get triggered, right? But my order yesterday on the pound um, was kind of a swing trade idea in the sense that I was looking at a break of this flag, right? But I was not going to buy at these lows because the immediate move is still bearish, right? Confirmation was at the 139, like I told you. But again, the pound just crashed and has been moving down, right? So that trade idea got invalidated. Now, having said that, I'm still looking for buys on the pound versus the US dollar. And hear me out, hear me out. Let's have a look at the daily first. I mean, I don't know. It looks quite bearish, I know, but if you look at the daily, this is the level for me, the make it or break it level for this market, in the sense that yesterday I was looking at the 138 rejection, these lows right here. But then when my idea got invalidated, I replanned, and that's why I told you guys that I was going to be looking for longs again on the pound yen, on the pound US dollar today, because we're trading above the 137.50, and this level is quite heavy just by looking at historic price action. Okay, now after this move to the downside, this is the level that sellers took profits or buyers were trying to protect, right? And then it got broken with, and right here is where we got that flat triangle, and then here is where buyers jumped in. So this is a very pivotal level in historic price action on the pound versus the USD. And right now, yeah, this daily candle looks extremely bearish, but the entire move from the 140 retest or 139.88 to 139.90 or these highs has been very choppy, right? After a very, very, very strong impulsive bullish move, we've had a pullback. And if we look at the 4-hour chart, right, this pullback structure might still be in play, right? Now, I'm not saying that I'm going to buy into this weakness because, first of all, we have retail sales out of the U.S. And if you look at the DXY, you know, even though today's range is quite tight, it looks like buyers are going to take control of this market more so if retail sales beat expectations. So, taking a long position on the GBP USD at these lows might be a little, just a tight to speculative. Having said that, I do like the upside of this market, but no, let's look at the forward chart. But I do like the upside on this market. Why? Because the potential that it has to rally if it rallies, right? Now, let's just look at the moves from the lows to the high. We had a 400 pip move. Then this pullback is about 200 pips. So we haven't even, price hasn't even pulled back 50% of the first impulsive move, right? Of the first bullish move. And it's trading above the 137.75, right? So the thing about this setup or this market is that my validation level is still above last week's highs, right? I really don't care if price bounces from these lows and retests, this week's highs. Anything below last week's highs and above the 137.75 to me is a no trade zone, right? In order for me to even think of buying into some strength here, price would have to break with the 139. And let's imagine or let's assume that price rejects the 137.75, then my stop losses would be here. But calculate targets for this flag breakout could bring price to retest the 142 easily. So that's why I'm still looking for buys here. Not looking for buys per se at the moment, just looking at the reaction of the pound versus the USD at these levels. Just patiently waiting. It's patiently waiting. Right, what else? I'm sorry. The Euro USD, same thing, well, the Euro USD is a pain in the ass, right? But we are still trading below this base, right? Retesting this previous base. Now, this is a very thick level. Let's see. Linda says, what if the price rejects the lows and consolidates at the current price? On the pound US dollar? No. No. To me, there's no trade, But, you should do your analysis and follow your set of rules. But to me, there's no trade. So the Euro USD is a pain in the ass too, but again, big impulsive move, right, to the upside and trading inside of a flag. Remember that bullish and bearish flags are not 100% accurate in the sense that they are not going to work every single day. That's why you need to focus on the probability of the setups that you trade, right? But What I like about the Euro USD is this. One, this is the first retest of the previous broken level, which is a massive, massive thick level, right? Uh, Massive thick level. And well, currently it's looking very bearish. But again, it's all going to depend on retail sales, whether it breaks and continues to to break with the lows, or if the flag plays out. That's why that's why we that's why Olympia is not front running anything at all. What he's doing is just planning for a possible retail sales, a bad retail sales data dump, which is going to make the US dollar crash or dip, and the Euro USD rally. So, if you're not part of the VIP, I'm Orlando. If you're not part of the VIP group and want to have a look at Olympus Trade, just click the link below this video and subscribe, mates. That's right. So it's 6 o'clock. So we've been live for 36 minutes, right? Um, there's not too much going on at the moment. So yesterday I was looking at. I'm sorry, I'm a bit tired. Yesterday I was looking at this, and this was a massive, massive, massive bear trap. I was looking at the Euro GBP. I wasn't going to short this, right? But yesterday price was retesting these previous broken lows, right? And this is 13 was this is Friday's candle. Friday's candle was very, very. Even though it closed bullish, this long week uh, since rejection of this level. And yesterday, I was looking at some very bearish price action, right? If you look at the hourly, what happened, or let's have a look at the 4-hour chart, right? So what happened here is that price was retesting these previous broken lows, right? And a lot of sellers, or a lot of traders got trapped here on this week low, below the weekly pivot and below these lows. Even some traders even just short the levels, right? But this was a massive, massive, massive bear trap on the Euro GBP, right? Uh, for the moment, there's nothing to do, but this is a market that I don't trade very often. But if price, comes back and retests the 85 level or 85.10 level, then here we could have a very, very nice risk to reward for a long opportunity, right? Uh, for the moment. No, that's fine, Romeo. That's fine. That's completely fine. So yeah, the Euro yen, the Euro GBP, I'm sorry, is on my radar. So what's on your radar, guys? What are you looking at? What are you trading? Let's make this a little bit both ways. And tell me, what are you looking at? All right, so yeah. All right, so I think that we are going to look at retail sales uh, today on this show. You want me to do? James, you were looking at shorting gold. I'm going to have a look at gold because I was looking at the same thing. Yeah, I can have a look at the Nasdaq. CAD Swiss franc. Now that's a market that I don't trade, but we are going to have a look. Yeah, I can look at the S&P 500, but I'm most interested in what you are looking at. Gold. Everybody wants to trade gold. All right. All right. So you guys are going to have two. Oh boy. Yeah, hold on. All right. So I'm going to mute my microphone just for 1 minute because I am going to send I'm going to send a trade that I'm going to take right now to the VIP group. If you want to get that trade, I mean, if you want to look at that trade for me, you know what to do. There's a link below the video, and just use Orlando 50 as a promo code to get 50% off. So I'll be back in just 2 minutes. All right, I'm back. I'm back. Can everybody hear me? All right, so you can't hear me. Hello? 1, 2, testing. Please type yes on the chat if you can hear me. Awesome. All right. All right. So gold. Let's have a look at gold. Yesterday's long on gold was pretty awesome, right? What we did, if you're not part of the VIP team, I'll show you what we did. What we did is just we bought the breakout of this flag, right? And we closed our trade around the daily highs. That was awesome. Now, having said that, what I'm looking here in gold is this very, very thick level of support, right? Now, Just remember that this move to the upside in gold has been very massive. We're talking about a 7% move to the upside in a weekend, a couple of days, right? So shorting here would be a little bit risky, right? But having said that, looking at the hourly chart, looking at the hourly chart, we are still very much, and you know what? I'm going to put the levels where they have to be, which are these lows. Looking at the hourly chart, right, we are retesting a massive level, but we are still trading inside of this bullish structure, right, that we have been trading for the past 1, 2, 3, 4 days, right, 4 trading days. Now, if price breaks with the structure, to me that is not a signal that we are going to get some weakness in this market. More so with the call it concerns, etc. But if we break with today's lows, now that is something that I would consider shorting, right? Um, in this market. Okay. Also, it all depends on retail sales. Let's just wait and see what retail sales bring right to the market. Um, they are going to be dumped in about 20 minutes, so let's wait. I use Redbox Global. This is the news terminal that I use. Right, silver. Someone wanted to look at silver. Silver. Hold on. Let me just delete all of the drawings. I haven't looked at this market in a while. Right. So silver. Now, this was a trade that I took that stopped me out. Of course, the breakout of this, falling wedge, which I'm going to delete because no longer in play. But if you look at, the reason that I'm still looking for longs in silver is because of this, the sheer potential of this market if it breaks to the upside. Just look at the weekly chart, right? So, no, let's have a look at the 2-week chart. So this is the 2-week chart in silver, right? And with the swing trading VIP team, we were looking at the possibility of a break above that 30 level, right? More so because we were looking at, pandemic rallies in metals, inflation rallies in metals, um, etc. So, silver is still trading on this very, very, very big range, right? Remember, this is the 2-week chart, right? But if price breaks with these highs or the 30 level, just have a look at the potential of a rally to retest the next key level, right? The next key level would be the 36, I reckon, I remember. Yeah, 36. So we're talking about a possible 22.6% move to the upside should this scenario play out. And if it breaks with that level, a 42% move, right? So that's why I'm still looking for longs in silver. Having said that, I see nothing of interest in this market to buy into. And not even, let's have a look at this level, these lows. Are we retesting this low? Exactly. And right now, let me just delete this channel. It's no longer in play. And very much like gold, actually, I'm going to put the 8-hour chart just so we can see the what silver is doing, right? So actually, hold on. This is quite interesting because if I were to short metals, this is the setup that I would be more interested in. Why? Because if you look from high to low on this flash crash, we're talking about a 15% move to the upside, right? And if we look from the lows to the highs, to today's highs, we are just talking about an 8% move to the upside. So the pullback in the silver is much or less deeper than the pullback in gold, right? If you look at the pullback in gold, this pullback is massively deep. I mean, we're talking about an almost 80% retrace of that flash crash a couple of weeks ago, right? So in silver, that has not happened yet. So, and this is the 8-hour chart. Let's go back to the 4-hour chart here. And we are rejecting those lows, right? Massive level. So if we look at the hourly chart, and again, there's no setup, at this moment, for me at least. Um, the hourly looks horrible in silver to do anything, right? Having said that, the level that is capping the upside in silver is the 23.96 level. Um, so, but yeah, I mean, the risk to reward ratio on a possible long here, it's not that bad actually. Let's have a look. hmm Yeah, actually not that bad. It's a 1 to 2.35 R on a possible long in silver. Hold on. What happened here? Canada housing starts. Right. So yeah, the R on a possible long in silver is quite good actually. But again, I'm not going to front run retail sales today. So um, let's just wait and see what happens in 15 minutes. We have retail sales from the US. And that, my friends, is going to move the markets. Right, so someone asked about the NASDAQ. Uh, you know, uh, the reason that I haven't even looked at this market is because of this. Yeah, yes, news in 15 minutes. That's what we are waiting for. This is the reason that I haven't even looked at this market. I mean, this is so choppy to the look. Have a look at the 4-hour chart. Um, there's absolutely nothing to do here, in my opinion. Plus, if you were to buy, you would be buying at all-time highs on the Nasdaq. You know, I'm not even going to analyze this chart because it sucks. You know, I'm not gonna. I mean, I'm not even going to waste my time with it. Now, the S&P 500, however, um, it's looking very good for a possible buy. You know, um, around the weekly pivot and this previous base. Now, it is not the most solid setup, but yesterday's end of day trading was very bullish, extremely bullish actually. Uh, but again, we have retail sales, and retail sales do have impact on equities. Why? Because I mean, if retail sales drop a ton, that means that companies are not selling as much as they want to sell, which is bearish for equities, basically. So again, that's why I'm not even looking for possible setups, to buy or sell any market. I'm just waiting for those, for those retail sales, friends. But we can have a look at um, cryptocurrencies. You are more than welcome, Flor. 10. The Dow, the Dow is the same thing as the S&P 500. Exact same possible longs. But to be completely honest, on the Dow, the level that I'm looking for a true buy is the 35,000. All right, let's have a look at Ethereum. Right, so with the swing trading VIP team, we are still very much long Ethereum. Our trade is up. Hold on. I can't find the tool right here. Our trade is up currently 60%, or I don't know. That's 12,000 or 100. Yeah, 12,000 pips. You know, and we are still running it. Actually, we are holding. We already took profits with the VIP swing trading team here, and I think here, right? Those were the places where I took profit too. And basically, we are letting this one ride for all-time highs, mates. You know, the swing trading group is a little bit different than the VIP group in the sense that there's not a ton of trades that I said there, because you are not going to get swing trade setups every single day. That is just absurd, right? But when we do get on one, we get on some very nice trades. So if you want to be part of that, again, you can use the coupon Orlando50. You're going to get 50% off on your first month. And as always, we have a 30-day money back guarantee, because we know that this is not for everybody. You know? But we are pretty confident that you're going to like it. Now, Bitcoin. Let's have a look at Bitcoin. The other trade that I had running was this one. This was a pretty nice one, you know. And I talked about this setup on one of my shows. You know, I hope someone paid attention, because this setup yield. I'm out of this trade, by the way. This setup yield for me 54%, right, or 45,000 pips or whatever. I don't even know. So what I did is that I took profits here, and then I trailed my stops here, and I'm already out of my Ripple long, and there's absolutely nothing to do here in this market, right? I was looking at the possibility of adding to my Ripple. As you can see, I mean, my plan was to take my full trade here. But I was looking at the possibility of adding here on the breakout of the 135 level, but that didn't pan out, so I'm out of this Ripple long. What I don't like about Ripple is, or this possible Ripple flag that we are looking at, is this, right? Is the breakout of these lows, right? This is kind of bearish for me, and price rejecting the previous broken lows is just not looking hot at the moment, right? Now Bitcoin, on the other hand. So right, so the difference, I mean, when I took that Ethereum long, I was looking at Bitcoin too, but I was not going to double down on cryptocurrencies by taking both of them. So I decided to go with Ethereum because I like Ethereum better. You know, don't ask me why. I just do. But when it comes to Bitcoin, the other thing that concerns me a little bit, is the 50,360 or so level. Let's call it the 50,000 level, right? This is going to be a very thick area for buyers, right? As Ethereum too, Uh, and I'm sorry, and in Ethereum, we are trading above that level. What would be the same level as in Bitcoin, but we already broke with it. So, in my eyes, the highest probability bullish trade at the moment in cryptos is in Ethereum, not Bitcoin. But that's only my opinion, right? Uh, I mean, yeah, the levels that could cap the upside in Ethereum are just not there, right? Are just not there. And that's it. I'm going to delete this one from my watch list. I don't even look at that. So we are 6 minutes away from those retail sales. Let's have a look at the what is this? The news terminal. Sorry. Nothing too much, nothing big. Let's have a look at crude oil actually. So, when was it? I think last week I took a buy in crude oil here, and I took a sell here. I had the last bit of my position because of this. Just have a look at the 4 hour chart, right? This is the 4 hour chart in Crude, right here. Okay, this is the 4 hour chart in Crude, and this is where I took some longs, and I closed a lot of my position here. And when I saw this rejection, I didn't close my long positions. I already had my stop losses at break even. But what I did is that I sold the same amount that I had long to hedge it. And well, eventually the hedge, turned out as a no gain because price just didn't continue lower. Now, having said that, it's pretty curious what's going on with crude oil around the 66 level. Ton of buyers jumping in, as you can see here, bomb, then here, bomb. But what concerns me on the long side in this market is this: that even though we are seeing buyers jumping in at around the 66 level, sellers continue to jump in lower and lower and lower. You know, that could create a flat triangle, which means that this, technically speaking, is a bearish pattern. But I haven't traded crude for a long time, and the long that I took was completely and utterly just technical based, right? Nothing on the fundamental side. So I cannot discuss this market with you because I haven't read about it for a while. But I'm just sharing what I'm looking at. Um, I mean, it doesn't even have a flag on my watch list, which means that um, which I mean anything that doesn't have a flag is just not there yet. All right, anything else before retail sales, guys? All right, retail sales in 3 minutes. Uh huh. So the expectation is that, right? I mean, it's all over the place, right? This is the reason that you can't front run high impact events. You just don't know. But the expectation is that retail sales are going to miss, and that is going to be bearish for the US dollar and also equities. We have been patiently waiting for this moment today. And Yeah, and also, because we've had such a strong start of the week with all of our trades, um, closing at profit, in profit, I'm sorry, um, that just didn't want to get in on a speculative position before the retail sales to just give some of it back, you know. So that's why we are flat or I'm flat at the moment. 1 minute. Let's put on the news terminal. All right. 30 seconds. I'm going to put the DXY here on the hourly. Okay, cool. Should be should be coming on the news terminal. Why isn't coming on the news terminal? Hasn't hit the hasn't right. U.S. retail sales. Wow, big miss on U.S. retail sales, guys. Uh, so U.S. retail sales month over month dropped minus 1.1%. Um, U.S. core retail sales month over month dropped minus 0.4%. So big miss on both sides, right? On retail sales, the XY or the US dollar is dropping. So our Euro USD long would will get triggered, or I'm sorry, Olympus Euro USD long will get triggered. If you want to get in, or if you want to have a look at Olympus trade, it's on the VIP team, on the VIP group. You can subscribe. The idea is still very much valid. And no, there's a link below the video if you are not still there. Right, just sending this data. All right, so big miss on retail sales out of the U.S. Let's have a look at gold. What gold is doing. It's looking like it's going to break to the upside, which is, you know, let's have a look at the lower time frames in gold. Actually, what happened? So not a big reaction on the U.S. dollar from retail sales. We're still, I mean, actually, we're looking at some bullishness. Let's have a look at the 50-minute chart on the XY just to look at what's happening at the moment. So the market really doesn't seem to care about retail sales, but let's have a look at what's going to happen here. You're going long gold? Well, good luck. Can you tell me why? Yeah, that's a big break of those levels on the DXY right here. Yeah, it's looking very bullish actually. Gold is dropping at the moment. The Euro USD dropping. Um, let's have a look at the Euro USD. Yeah, the Euro USD dropping really hard. GBP USD also dropping really hard. So the idea that I was talking about on the GBP USD seems to be not valid anymore. So what we're going, I mean, I'm not long the GBP US dollar, but cool, mate. Just do your thing, follow your analysis, right? So the US dollar, Canadian dollar rallying. So let's have a look at the Canadian data. Actually, it's not this really not high impact. This is very much US dollar driven. So this is a weird reaction, right? To bad retail sales on the US dollar. Really weird, you know. But again, you have to trade what you see, not what you think is going to happen, right? Let's wait and see what happens, you know, because this is really a weird reaction to those numbers. Right. So no trade, right? No trade today. No trade today on the stream, on the show, which is fine, right? Which is completely and utterly fine. But you know, what I'm looking at is though that pullback on the GBP Japanese yen. So heads up to that, guys. Heads up to that pullback on the GBP yen. You know, I'm going to end the stream very soon. You know, thank you for joining me. Hi, Sanel. DXY is going down on M1 time frame. Yeah, I mean, I don't I don't think so. Well, I don't look at the 1 minute chart, but let's have a look because you are. I don't know. Maybe. I mean, it's at resistance, you know. Who knows? Who knows? But this is a weird reaction to bad retail sales numbers. Well, in any case, guys, in any case, well, you were right. Have a look at that, the 1 minute chart, right? This is not a time frame that I focus on, but uh, you're more than welcome, Alan. But again, this could also just be stop hunting, you know, before the real drop. We need to wait and see what happens when the market opens, you know, in an hour or so. Again, yeah. Again, I wouldn't trust that. I wouldn't trust that 1 minute drop on DXY myself, you know, but that's me. Uh, Again, thank you for joining me, guys. Really appreciate it. I always have fun with you. Today, I'm just a little under the weather. I have a ton of allergies. But you know, thank you for joining me again. If you want to be part of the VIP team, you already know what we do. We are having a great week, uh, and we share all of our trades there. Thank you, Sanel. You are more than welcome, guys. Remember to like this video and subscribe to the channel and do everything that I tell you to do. Damn it! And you know, trade safe. Uh, don't front run high impact events. You know, I mean, you just saw what happened today. Uh, just imagine taking a short position on the US dollar because retail sales were so badly forecasted. Bum, we would have. I mean, yeah, it's not a cold, it's allergies. It's allergy season here, and I am super allergic. But thank you for the concern. But I mean, we would have been stopped out on a US dollar short. That's why we don't front run high impact events. And that's why we trade the way that we do. Right, so thank you for joining me. Trade safe, guys. No. Well, maybe Olympio is going live tomorrow, so heads up to that. Trade safe, be safe out there, get vaccinated. And yeah, I'll see you around if you're on the VIP team. Cheers.